Welcome to Self-Care Sunday. On the table, you'll see 4 images, and I'd like you to pick the one that most speaks to you. Beneath it will be your self-care tips for this week. If you chose the first image, we have 2 faces. One is filled with bright light and the other one is very much darker. The hands that are coming down are touching this face. It appears that a relationship with someone from your past is haunting you almost. It's a haunting feeling because of the darkness of this, and the face is not exactly happy. It doesn't mean you're being haunted. What I'm saying is that you're stuck in memory of someone who wasn't necessarily pleasant, because these hands that are coming, it's a lesson. All right, that's what I'm feeling, is that there is a lesson here, because these hands are trying to help. It's almost like they're reaching out. So there might be someone from the other side. This person that is affecting you so much is on the other side. I'm not getting that they're here, that they're like an ex, or they may be an ex, but they're on the other side. So if you've been struggling with the memory of someone, you miss them, because this is full of white light. This is for pure love, but this is so dark. I've got to believe this is about someone on the other side. If this message resonates, stick with me for your self-care tips for this week. And if it doesn't, please feel free to look at any of the other images or even go to another video, because I've created these to be timeless, and I do believe we find the messages when we need them. Your first self-care tip for this week is to spend time with animals. You know, I do think that animals very much know our feelings. They sense it, and they're so wonderful. And sometimes they'll even bring us messages if we're paying attention, especially if they're not pets, but we're outside and we see an animal that we wouldn't normally see. It could be a deer or a rabbit, you know, a crow could, and the crows can be common, but not if they tend to sit at your windowsill and the first thing in the morning you open your eyes and there's a crow looking at you from your window. That to me is a sign, okay? Not when you're just out and about normally. But if you have, like in my case, I've had a bear literally walk just out in front of my car, of course, far enough away that the thing, I didn't hurt it and it didn't come close to it. But it was startling to see this massive big bear walk in front of me. And all those things are signs. And sometimes when someone we love is on the other side and they're trying to give us a message, they may use animals. So spend time with animals, or even paying attention to the animals that come around you. Just even if you're in the city, not necessarily a pigeon, but if a pigeon is acting strangely, then that's something to pay attention to. So now we have play. And you notice there's dogs. I just want to point that out. So we have 2 dogs here. So now we have self-care includes having fun. Are you playing enough, darling? Do you have enough free time, or are you booked to the minute? Life goes by so darn fast. Make sure to have a blast along the way. Play connects us to our childlike curiosity and zest. When life feels too serious, toss aside your to-do list and make room for the stuff that turns you on. Go to the movies, have an adult slumber party. Swing at the playground. You're never too old to wee. I love that line. Let the fun shine in and live a little or a lot. So yeah, I think already I'm going to go back to this here. Someone's trying to tell you that you need to relax and have fun. These hands almost, they look like they're trying to massage you. They're trying to massage your head. So they're trying to give you, you hear my dog click clacking. I'm so sorry. There's your animal. There's one of your animals. I'll show you a picture of Mimi. I'll put it up here, but she's walking away from me. So someone on the other side is trying to let you know that it's time for you to have some fun and that you're doing fine and they're proud of you and that they are trying to send you a message with some animals. So let's go with that because that's what I really just heard. Somebody out there could be a widow and this is your spouse telling you, please have some fun again. Give yourself that. So it's time to play. Here we have your Archangel card. If you like to talk to the angels, this is the one that showed up for you this week. Is Jophiel. Clear your space. Get rid of clutter. Clear the energy around you and use Feng Shui. I'm going to say this for the widow out there that is watching this. It's time to get rid of the stuff. And I've been there. I've been there. My husband passed away way too early. And before his 49th birthday, he did not make it to 50. And it was one of the toughest things to do was to eventually realize that it doesn't help me to have a shrine. It doesn't help me to have all his clothes in the closet. It's not going to bring him back. And there came a point where I realized there's somebody out there that needs these clothes. And for you, and they're telling you it's okay and it's time to move on. And I'm sorry that this is the time that you're getting this message, but I understand. I've been there myself. But somebody out there needs to know that their loved one is telling them, baby, I love you, but it's time to go on and it's time to clear the space. Let go of the shrine. I'm always here and I will always love you. Okay? Ooh, I'm tearing up. All right. The crystal, if you like to work with crystals, the one that's here for you is aquamarine. So divine life purpose. There's more of your life to live. And one of the things that I had to realize when my husband passed away was that you're still here for a reason. And there are people here who need you and that you need to love. And you still need to generate love. So they were finished their purpose and you're not. So here's aquamarine reminding you you're not done with your life purpose. So this is about trust the signs, and I'm going to go back to the animals because it says trust the signs, and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. All right. And if you don't have an aquamarine, which can be a rather expensive stone, then wear the color, which is like it's not quite a turquoise blue, but it is a vibrant blue, lighter vibrant blue, almost like here and here. My goodness, it seems to be everywhere. It can be any lightish blue color, and wear that, put that in your wardrobe for this week. Okay, just to remind yourself that you are on your life purpose. Okay, so that's your message of self-care tips for this week. I am wishing you all the best, sending a great big hug with all the love. Take care. If you chose the second image, I really feel that you are not only on a light worker path, but you are chosen to speak and channel. Okay, and this hand is, to me, the hand of God. It's right there opening up your throat chakra. And the fact that this person is in meditation or prayer is very much a sign that you are being called to be a light worker. So if that resonates with you, please stay with me for this message for self-care tips. If it does not, then please feel free to look at any of the other images and those messages, even in other videos, as I've created them to be timeless. And I do believe we find these messages when we need them. So on your path to becoming a light worker, your first self-care tip this week is connect with crystals. So the last card will be important for you. So work with crystals, or maybe you already are. Maybe you are supposed to begin a new crystal shop. Whatever it is here, I'm getting that this light worker has to, maybe you're going to become a Reiki master. Crystals are definitely part of it. Now we have you are loved. Look at how happy she is. Look at how happy she is. So you are enough just as you are, and you are loved. If you don't have a model for love, imagine yourself as a child. Perhaps you have a favorite picture of yourself as an adorable 5-year-old. Look into your own sweet eyes and acknowledge just how special you are. That child inside still needs your tenderness, and so does the adult you. Please don't abandon yourself. Instead, tap into the ocean of love inside. That is actually a trick or a tip or a tool that we use in coaching for someone who has felt abandoned by their parents, or maybe they grew up with parents who were drug users or alcoholics, and they weren't really protected or taken care of. And we go through an exercise where you imagine yourself as your younger self, and you give that child the love and the vow and the promise that you will take care of them, and that is you taking care of you. It really is a beautiful ritual. It's not for everyone, but I have used it. It does work for those of us who think that that is a beautiful sentiment. And this is basically what that's saying is, promise yourself that you will take care of you, because you are loved by the universe, by God, whatever label you want to put on that higher power. You are meant to be a part of this world, and that makes you enough. That makes you something, that makes you important to be here. You actually received 2 of these cards, so I don't, when things like this happen, I don't remove them. And this says, listen to your body. So no matter how bad we feel, our bodies are always working on our behalf to create health and vitality. Meet your body halfway by acting on the messages. Mine's telling me I need some water. Meet your body halfway by acting on the messages it sends you, whether it's a whisper or a roar. Don't ignore what you hear. Listen to your body. It wants the best for you. Our bodies are, scan. I do a body scan, which when, some point in the day, doesn't matter what time, you just close your eyes and act like, imagine a white light going from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. And is there any area through that scan that you're noticing? So, obviously if you have a headache, that's a very clear sign, but it could be your ears are feeling a little clogged, or maybe your throat's dry, or you just keep going lower and lower. Can you feel those parts of your body? Because actually, when we don't feel those parts of our body and they're not really standing out, is kind of a good thing, because it means nothing's really going on in that area. But if there's anything off, your body's trying to tell you something, so pay attention. You are meant for good things. So, you are meant to be this light worker. So, but you also need to take care of the body in order to do it. If you like to have an archangel, this is the one that showed up for you this week. It's Zadkiel with clairaudience. Nice. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Now, clairaudience has to do with hearing. Okay, audio. You think clairaudience. So I have this once in a while. It's not my strongest clair, but it is one of my clairs. I will hear things. People like there's. It's like somebody's saying something right next to my head. And we're not talking about they don't tell me to do bad things. We're not talking about that. We're talking about I hear my name, and then I'll hear something like, call so-and-so. I'll be like, oh. And one of the biggest things that happened to me, and I want you to trust this, because this has to do with trusting your intuition. And it happened to me a few times, and I have proof because someone was with me when it happened. I was driving in my car. A friend was visiting from another country, and we were on our way back from shopping. We had a great day. All of a sudden, I got this feeling come all the way through my body, and I heard the words, Angie, go to the high school, where my daughter was, go to the high school. And I said to my friend, we got to stop and make a detour at the high school. She said, why? I go, I got a feeling. I got a feeling. And we went. And as I'm pulling in, I see my daughter on the ground. Her track coach was there. And I jump out of the car and I run over. And he said, how did you know to come? And I said, I didn't. I just got a feeling. And my daughter asked me the same thing. I said, I don't know. I was just told to be here. So my point here isn't for you to be impressed with my story. My point here is for you to trust your instincts, because the universe talks to us 100%. And I want you to listen to your clairaudience. Now, if you have any type of message or that you're hearing that is harmful in any way, that is not spirit, that is not God, okay? That is not that. So I want you to be, it's going to be something you're going to know. I want you to just, it's going to come from a good place. It's never going to tell you to do something harmful, okay? That is not spirit. So, but I do want you to start trusting your clairaudience. This is very important for you, especially if you're getting into this whole endeavor, because you're meant to be a light worker, but you're also very sensitive. So to help with that, the clairsentient part of you, obviously because you're working with crystals, the crystal that showed up for you this week is wellness, and it's jade. So the recovery of health and wellness is here. So jade is your crystal for this week for your self-care tips. And you've got an amazing week. So listen to your body, listen to yourself, listen to what spirit is trying to tell you, and you are on to bigger things. There you go. I am wishing you all the health, wealth, and abundance and love. And above all this week, please take care. If you chose this beautiful image, I get the fall, right? We've got the crunchy brown leaves, but it's coming on top of a face that is very white, connected to spirit in the crown. The crown chakra is definitely activated. And I love the fact that there is almost like a beam of light coming from the eyes. So these eyes are seeing very clearly. There is a wisdom in this card. Okay, there's a lot of wisdom in this card. These eyes see everything. You know a lot. And this is you. You might be feeling older. You might be feeling like you see so much. But do you notice how the mouth is in shadow? So you see so much and you know enough, but yet you're not speaking. You're not saying anything. So if you feel like you're seeing something that's going on and you know what's going on, that is, you probably should speak up, but you're just not going to because you don't want to be bothered with it, or you don't feel like it's your responsibility. This is your self-care tip for this week. If that doesn't sound right, please feel free to look at any of the other images, even other videos, because I've created these to be timeless, and I do believe we find our messages when we need them. So let's find out what we can do about this, what you're seeing, and the knowledge you have. We have alone time. So I think the world has basically just made you feel overwhelmed. You're seeing all the garbage that's going on, and you feel like there's no point in talking about it. So that's okay. Spirit's telling you, get that alone time. It'll help you clear this residue. So it says it's time to rise, though. So after you get this alone time, it looks like you're going to need to speak up. No matter what's happening in our lives, we always have the potential to rise above it. Rising is one powerful choice away. Rise out of our negative thoughts or limiting beliefs. Rise out of our comfort zone or our complaints. Rise out of our slump or out of the potato chip bag. Get up and rise. What are you waiting for? So you are being asked to speak up because you are wise. You have been through it. You see the truth and you're connected to spirit and to God and to the higher wisdom. So once you clear the icky off of it, Spirit's asking you to speak up because your wisdom is necessary. Your wisdom is needed. Okay? So, please speak up and share your thoughts with others when you're ready. Okay? When you're ready. They're not saying, you aren't responsible, but you do contain some wisdom that the world needs. And Spirit's saying, get your rest. And then when you're ready, we need you. Okay? So step up. The archangel that showed up for you, if you like archangels, is Zadkiel, so compassion. So that's probably why you need the alone time, is to get your compassion back, because you probably are feeling, like, why bother? Everybody's an idiot and no one's listening. And if you're feeling that way, to get your compassion back, Zadkiel says, come to me, I'll help you with this. It says, soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So yeah, he's bringing you that golden light, and you are connected. So if you just, give yourself some quiet time and get your head back on straight, you will make a difference. And I think that's what your concern is that why bother? Why bother to speak? No one's listening, but they will. Okay, they will. If you enjoy crystals, the crystal that showed up for you this week is Aqua Aura. I've never even heard of this one of you. Aqua Aura. So this says healthy communication in relationships. Right. So you are definitely being called to help others, to speak your wisdom. Heart-to-heart discussions and clear, assertive communication help you understand and be understood. You are definitely meant to speak up. Okay, so I want you to, self-care tip this week is get that quiet time, get your head back on straight, because what you have to say is important and it will make a difference. And even especially with this last card, even if you overlook the fact that it is a crystal card, it's giving you the same thing, communication. You've got a communication reading here. Okay, so that is your self-care tips for this week, is that you do matter and what you're thinking should be heard. Okay, I am wishing you all the love, the health, the wealth, and the abundance, and please this week take care. If you chose the fourth picture, jumpers, put that back. If you picked this image, we've got a person who is curled into what I call fetal position. They're surrounded and they've put themselves in, it looks like they're in an egg, but they're surrounded by brown energy. They're trying to ground themselves. They're trying to hide. Okay, they're starting to be covered in some dark spots. So negativity is definitely involved here. And there's a lot of green though. There's a lot of love around this person. So it feels like you are trying to hide right now, even though you have people who love and care about you. You're just darn diddly burned out, tired, and you just need to hide for a minute. And I get it, because I tend to do that too. I call it hermiting, and I will warn my friends so they don't think that I've gone into a spiral of depression. I will tell them, look, I'm going dark for a while. You're not gonna hear from me for a week. So, I'll text you if you need me to, but I'm just gonna need some quiet. So if you're hermiting, this is the message for you. If that's not you this week, please feel free to choose any of the other images or even go to another video, because I made these to be timeless, and I do believe we find the messages that we need when we need them. So your first self-care tip, if you're hermiting, says flow like water. What does help is getting into water, because water has that calming ability. It can make us feel clean. It's the action of washing off, washing away, or even the buoyancy when you get into a pool or the ocean or get into a body of water, we can float. So I think that is what you should be doing right now, is getting into some form of water in the way that you can. Even if you live in an apartment and you don't have access to any of these things, And it is not the time of year for a swimming pool, an outdoor pool. If you don't have access to an indoor pool, most of us don't. Even the simple act of soaking your feet in some Epsom salt in a bucket will help you. All right, this is about relaxing. So like flow like water. And the number 24, in numerology, we would add these two numbers to get to the single digit. And the single digit here, 2 + 4 is 6. And 6 is always about nurturing. So it's about taking care of yourself, okay? So that is important to get around some form of water activity. Now we have you can't please everyone. So are you feeling drained because you're trying to please people and you just feel like the odd one out? Because that first card still takes me back to you are very loved and appreciated, but you're just burned out. So maybe you are in a different perspective than everyone else. So it says, when you're focused on living up to other people's standards, you aren't spending enough time raising your own. Some folks expect you to act a certain way and march to the beat of their boring drum. They find safety in sameness, but you have a beautiful music inside you. Your flair is meant to be shared. Don't shrink to fit in or get approval. Instead, dump your need to please and just be your magnificent self. All right, so you hear that, right? That you are everything you need to be. You do not need to change for anyone. So if this is to do with somebody making you feel like you need to shrink, don't allow that. Take control of your thoughts and say, I am who I am and I like who I am. And, relax. Just stand up for yourself. You are everything you're supposed to be. If you like an angel to talk to, the one that showed up for you this week is Raphael. We like Raphael. He's the angel therapy. Yeah, he's all about health and wellness. So Raphael says, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Talk to them and listen. Get that quiet time. Sometimes you can have your best thoughts when you're in the shower or in a bath. So open up, just listen. And Raphael will give you some messages this week if you allow that. If you're clairsentient and you enjoy crystals, the crystal that showed up for you this week is apatite. So progress, not perfection. Don't compare yourself to others, and that can be about people pleasing or trying to fit in. You've already been told not to do that. So now we have don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus upon how far you've come and all that you've learned. So it would also help you this week if you wrote a list of all the things that you have accomplished so far in your life. However long you've been here on this planet, you will find that you have accomplished a lot, and you are forbidden to put anything that you've done wrong. We're only going to make a list of things that have gone well that you are proud of. And you have to. You can't say there's nothing I'm proud of, because that's not true. Even if you're proud of yourself for surviving a situation or having made it through, or just making it through a hard time, is important to say, I did that, I made it. Okay, so find some reason to appreciate yourself and where you've been and how far you've come. And if you don't have a piece of apatite, I'm seeing these blue color here, the blues. Try and wear something in your wardrobe that is similar to that to draw that energy. Okay, and those are your self-care tips for this week. I am wishing you all the best. Until next week, take care.